Hello and welcome to the Eternal Connection Show. My name is Daniel Feit, and I am broadcasting on blogtalkradio.com. Today's title will be called Moving Away. So I'm in a good mood, and I just wanted to share what I feel the topic about moving away is all about. So let's get right into that, and I will do something like that and say some words, and hopefully you'll find it entertaining. But without further ado, for lack of better words, here we go. For a while now, I've been holding on to the idea of wanting to be centered and balanced. I believe it's a key to navigating this world in a good way. Recently, I found that I don't need to hold to the center, as Lao Tzu says in the Tao Te Ching, because that's an action. It's something that is taking myself away from the true essence of what the center is, which is the I am that I am. The center being, I don't need to hold on to, because why would I need to hold on to something? It's just sort of taking me away from something that just is. So I feel that any action that's conditioned to make things perfect is moving away from what is already perfect. I told somebody today that I don't want to believe in hope. Hope is a good thing for people who want to quote-unquote be better or quote-unquote improve, which I feel is from the ego. It sort of negates and doesn't give rise to the fact of everything is already perfect just the way it is in the bigger picture, the grander scale, and what just is happening. We could have hope that in something better, hope that things don't get worse. It's either way you go about it, it's just taking away from what's truly happening now. I think that if I leave myself to just be with what is, that I'll be led by the source of life, the Holy Spirit, if you're religious, the heavenly source, the source of all life flowing through. Everything that I see, everything that I experience, I believe is from that source, including who I am. We can go up and down the emotional scale within the center of being. The level of consciousness has many emotions, because every emotion's ancestor is a thought. So thought and consciousness and mind are factoring into this as well. Change is a constant. You can see that in the selection of words that I'm using, the change in where this topic is going. I'm moving away from what was to what is now, but at the same time it's all inclusive within the radio program that you're listening to. So those are just some of the points I wanted to make in the first part of the show. Okay, so let's get into the idea of trying. This also leads us away from actually doing. They say there is no trying, there is only doing. So, but psychologically, we could say that we are trying to do something. It's innocent in nature, but it's almost like the action that we're taking and what we're doing is sort of putting it out into this illusional reality of something in the future, something that isn't 100%, isn't authentic, isn't perfect in what is just a doing, I don't know if that's a little harsh, but if I have the opportunity to say this to the general public or anybody that's logged onto the internet and listens to this, I would want to encourage that it's What's the best way to put this? Okay, I'll go into the abstract to explain the simplicity of it. Basically, once we are centered and balanced, which we always are, we have to do something. I mean, we are living in time and space, so there is action within this constant change. So we dabble. We dabble into different types of storytelling, of experiences that we are having at the present moment. Now, what we do with these is it just sort of plays out in a certain direction, or if it's something that we really want to let go of, it can happen at any time. It's just a choice or a wanting to go back to the center. Now, again, that's moving away from the topic of the show being moving away. It's moving away from the story that we're telling each other and moving back to center. So maybe there is, now this is what I'm trying to explore maybe, is the idea of moving away from one thing to another. But I think if there is an ultimate with a capital U, that there's an ultimate center that is constant. I mean, there is no variation of it, unless it's a self-contained variation. I'm trying to get onto universal scale here, but let's see. We could go back to the idea of the ego or the soul. What is truth and what is illusion? What is of this world and what is in this world, or not of this world? This is a world of illusion, albeit a persistent one, as Einstein said. And we could get into the idea also of the self with a lowercase s and a uppercase s, capital, which is, which self are we truly believing that we are? The lowercase self would be the one that needs to survive in this human form. And I'm not saying that there aren't things that we need to do, but if we just basically keep it as simplicity and clear as possible, of course I need to wash the dishes and take the trash out and shower and brush my teeth and eat and sleep and all those things that I'm currently in this physical vessel in order to be responsible with interacting in the world that I'm in. Yet, when we get into the quote-unquote extras or the bonus material of this life, when we compare one thing to another, or say one is better and one is worse, and if we identify with being better or worse, it's still on that that what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, that spectrum of moving from one to the next to back to the center. So it's a matter of having fun. What we want to do is go with the analogy of building a house on rock or building a house on sand. At one point, I thought that I wanted to build a house on the rock, which is my self, capital S self, that is and always will be, has never been born and will never die. That's true for all of us. I can never remember not being alive. And it's, if I'm going to build a house in this world, say for example I want to cook an interesting recipe for a meal to eat, that's something that I could do. It's an activity. It's something fun to do. Maybe I want to go to a movie with that metaphor analogy that we want to get lost in some sort of story of what's happening in this world. but it's basically me just viewing the projection of my consciousness. So in that aspect, I think that we always are the center, we are what just is. We can be pulled away from it by thoughts if we don't recognize that the thoughts are pulling us away. Again, that's an illusionary movement. And to get back to it, we don't have to hold to the center. We just have to recognize, it got me again. That was fun. It just sort of played a trick. Life played a trick on me. The illusion played a trick on me. But I know what life with a capital L is, and that's what always will be. Who knows what the future holds? All I know is day-to-day life right now within this vessel that's of the human body. That's all I can know as I see it. That's just being honest and authentic with my experience right now. And I really think that life is good if I allow it to be, if I allow to just be with my inherent joy. There's happiness, there's sadness, but joy is a constant. Love is a constant. Unconditional joy, something without opposites. When the two becomes one, when the dichotomies merge or melt into lifting the illusion or the veil or opening the eyes of seeing something as truly just for what it is. So I'm going to conclude on that note. We've been talking about moving away on the Eternal Connection Show. My name is Don. My name's not Don. My name is Dan. And I have been talking on blogtalkradio.com about moving away. Moving away is an action that will, in my thoughts, is seen as an illusion because we can't move away from what just is. So I'll leave it at that. It may have been a little bit abstract. You may have caught some insights. You may have understood what I'm trying to express. Either way, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And take really good care. And until next time.